And we are live. Welcome back to the podcast that is going to be talking today about the Druze in Suwayda. Today we're going to dedicate this episode to give you the livest updates, but mostly focus on the situation of the Druze women in Suwayda. And I brought here special guests. Both are Druze ladies that are very fiercely active right now with basically with the Holocaust that our people are going. Let's call it as it is. Our people are experiencing right now a genocide. They're experiencing ethnic cleansing. And for those who don't know, there are approximately 1 million Druze around the world, give or take. You can take the numbers here and there, but not much more than 1 million. We're a very small minority. And every Druze that you will meet anywhere around the world probably have a relative in Syria. Because Syria have the biggest number of Druze in the world, and many of them are related. We're a very, very small community that ended up living in the area of Israel, Lebanon, and Syria. We got divided by borders that were created by nations, but we still kept relationship with our friends, with our relatives. And right now, every Druze that you might meet in the world is experiencing his own version of October 7th. That is what's happening there. They're slaughtering our people, they're killing them, and mainstream media is not talking about it. And that's why in this podcast, I said I'm going to dedicate my entire channel to speak up for the voiceless, to speak up for the Druze in Sweden, try to give you the picture. And in today's episode, we're going to try to focus on the very concerning things that are happening to Druze women. For those of you who don't know, in the Druze religion, they're very protective of their women. It's a very respectful religion. It holds women to the highest degree. My mom is an extremely respected woman in the Jewish community and in the Druze community. Some people here know her very, very well, and they will even share about it later. But when we see what's happening to our women, that is something that the enemy knows, and that's why they're abusing and they're doing what they're doing. And we're gonna open it up. I have here with me Laila Manal Khalife, and I have Rania. Some of you have seen Rania maybe lately. Also, she went talking to a few shows. Laila is very active behind the scenes, doing things day and night, especially when it comes to the women in Suwayda and also to the medical care of that mountain, reaching out. So I will let them speak a little bit about themselves, but let's start maybe with Laila. Do you mind introducing yourself?
Yeah, hi, Mansour. Thank you very much for having us. My name is Layla. I'm from Amgar in the Galilee. And there are a lot of things that I cannot really talk about publicly and talk about widely, but I can say that we're doing all that we can to help women in Suwayda, in Syria in general. We have seen and we have heard a lot of the atrocities that are being committed there. And you know what? I'm just going to be very rough. Women are being violated. They are being raped. They are being slaughtered in front of their families, in front of their husbands, in front of their children. And here we're talking about more than 1,000 women who were abducted, who were kidnapped. And there is no one left of their families to protect them, to advocate for them. And I
Did you say
think
more than 1,000?
that was the number. Yeah. Rania can also provide this information. And yeah, we have lists and we have names. But unfortunately, as I said, a lot of these women do not have families left because their husbands, their sons, their people were all murdered. Now, I think we all know what it means for a woman to be in captivity. We know what happens there. We know what we are afraid of. We're afraid of, again, I'm going to be very rough. We're afraid of human trafficking. We're afraid of sex. They will convert them to be sex workers. We all know what it means. It's not a walk in the picnic. And it's very difficult for me just to think about that. It is horrible, and it just turns your stomach just to think about that. And the world needs to listen to that. The world needs to know that. And that's why we're demanding, we're not requesting anymore, we're demanding women's rights organizations, human rights organizations to take action, to do something. Okay, we're not in a position to just request. We're not begging you to do that. We demand you, because if you do not do anything, if you are silent, as we said, I also said that today, that genocide has a lot of faces and silence is one of them. If you keep being silent, one day the world is going to watch themselves in the mirror and they will not be able to face themselves. And I don't know if people can live with the fact that they could have done something and they haven't. Today is the women in Suwayda. October 7th, it was the women here in Israel. Before that, we had Ukraine, we had Iraq, we had a lot of other examples in the world, but no one is doing anything. So yes, it is easy for you guys to maybe to sit and just watch, I don't know, watch Netflix or whatever, just to avoid it, just to not pay attention, just to, I don't know, to pretend you don't know. But that's my question for you. How are you going to face yourselves in the mirror when you know you haven't done anything? And again, we're talking about atrocities, about horrible, horrible things that are happening to women. And again, those women don't have anyone left to advocate for them. And it's still happening for days. I'm sorry, I'm just getting a lot of, I'm getting very
No, no,
emotional because it's something that it's outrageous.
it's outrageous. And Laila, we're gonna come back to that because I feel like this is something very important. But we feel your pain. We're all feeling it together here, and I'm sure as a woman as well, it must be very frustrating to see how women's rights activists around the world are choosing to be very silent, just like they were silent when there were Jewish women raped. It's something
Exactly.
that's repeated. It's something that is very concerning. But before we jump, I want to talk to Rania because I see she seems like she is not at home. Rania, do
That's
you mind
right.
telling us
That's
a
true.
little about yourself and maybe what's happening?
Yeah.
Where are you
So
right now?
before all that had started, we planned. We before first, I really thank everyone that is listening to us right now. Every voice and every ear is very important and crucial to us. Before all that had started, we planned a family trip to Hawaii, and I couldn't cancel it. But honestly, I'm not there. Like I'm at the airport now. My kids are here. I haven't spoken with them for a brief conversation as I usually do for a week already, and they understand because I just explained them there are bad guys that are doing bad things to other good people, and I'm trying here to help them. And even my kid asked me, but why are they doing this to the Druze? We are good people. You always, I swear, that was a conversation with my kid 3 days ago. He said, but you always tell me that the Druze are peace people. Why are they doing this? I said, I don't know. We're just trying to help here, mommy, and I'm gonna be more available for you later. So I'm sure that every Druze person and everyone that is helping us, not only the Druze, we have so many friends that are helping us. Can you guys hear me very well? I'm so sorry.
Yeah,
Let
we
me
hear
just.
you very well.
Okay. We are trying our best because we are the voice of the voiceless right now. Laila, you were talking and trying to address the humanitarian organizations, and I was smiling because honestly, I don't trust them. I don't believe in them anymore. If they want to do something, they would have do it way before, and I don't even want to address them anymore. I, I don't know how I can explain my feelings towards these hypocrite organizations. I didn't see any one of them just came and declared any, not even like one small post, just small post for God's sake, nothing. And we are here facing an annihilation attempt, an ethnic cleansing attempt, and no one is talking about it. It doesn't matter.
Rania, you
How,
mentioned something when we started this call that you just got some breaking news. Do you mind sharing that with us?
So, people that we know from Sweden, young women, and are sending us messages, and I shared one of the messages with you on closed groups. They are begging us, please. Now, these are students that are studying in Damascus, and the Sunni Salafi jihadi people, which is basically the Syrian regime supporters, are calling and are given their exact addresses where they live, the room numbers, and they're trying to annihilate them and execute them and enslave them. Now, let me just here mention something else. a few days ago, the cousin of Ashara they came and declared a fatwa. And if anyone here doesn't know what fatwa means, it's like an executive order. And to come from the cousin of Al-Shara saying that now you can enslave the Druze woman. That was the fatwa. You can enslave the Druze women. There was another fatwa that you can kill them and slaughter them. But that fatwa means clearly, loud and clear, the women of the Druze now are a target for sex trafficking, for enslaving, for selling them in public, just like they did with the Yazidis a few years ago, just like they are doing in other places. How can that be possible that the international community is seeing this, listening to this, and he's not even ashamed, Mansour, Layla, he's not even ashamed. He put it on his official Facebook group.
Wow.
And the word is silent. So people there are really so furious now because of this fatwa, and everyone wants to become a good Muslim. I'm a good Muslim now. I'm committing jihad for Allah. Now I'm gonna go and enslave some Druze women, and they
I'm a
are
good
targeting
Muslim.
now
I'm
the
gonna go and
students.
murder Druze men, enslave their wives, and kidnap their children. Now, you mentioned something crazy, and I don't want us to go over our ears. You mentioned that citizens of Syria right now are posting online the room numbers and the addresses of Druze students so people can go and kidnap them in Damascus. And that followed the jihad, by the way, that the students in Syria have declared against the Druze students. When I saw a video, there's a message from students in Syria. I went to watch that video. I was expecting to see sharp looking, maybe hipster like a little bit, students like you expect to see. People with different haircuts, with wild hair, dressed in different clothes, sitting with their laptops and glasses and just kind of drinking latte macchiato, mocha cappuccino, I don't know what, made out of tofu milk. But instead, I saw people dressed like the Taliban, and they were like engineering students, and they were standing there and shouting, "We declare jihad on the Druze students, and we permit their blood and the kidnapping, and I don't know what." And now they're going around sharing their locations, very similar to things that we saw in the Holocaust when they were rounding up the Jews, ratting up the Jews. The people in Germany were ratting up the Jews. "This is my neighbor, he's Jew, come and take him. Come and take him to a concentration camp, come kill him." The Jews had to flee Germany, and the ones who stayed there had to hide their identity or be killed. Thank God that there were few Germans, not a lot, few, that remember till today, that went and saved them. And we call them Chasidei Umot HaOlam, the righteous of the world. But we're not seeing that in
I don't
Gaza.
think we
We're
can
not
see that
seeing
in
that in
Syria.
Syria. No, we're not hearing anything. We're just hearing how they want to kill and slaughter the Druze, and the world is remaining silent. People went after the Holocaust and they studied in schools, and they all mentioned the word, "Why was the world silent?" And they always said, "Never again." I see so many stickers in Germany, people sitting in their laptops and like, "F the Nazis, never again." And I ask myself, okay, that's very cool. It makes you feel fuzzy in your stomach to say that. But here we go. It's happening. What happened to the never again? Never again. When the Jews happen, no one cares. When the Druze happen, no one cares. It's quite depressing to know what kind of a world that we're living in. Not even mainstream media is not even mentioning that. Now, Laila, sorry, we don't hear you, Rania. No, we don't hear you yet. Now we hear you. Say something. No.
No, we don't. I think.
Maybe the mic got out.
Now?
Yes.
You know?
Yes.
I'm saying, Mansour, I totally agree with you, and they are even given legitimacy for that. They are asking the international community just give this a psychopath called Shara time and means, and they are feeding him with billions of dollars and with lots of power, more power. And I want to also address one more thing about education. There is this misconception within the Western world that if people, I was one of these, I believed so badly in this theory also, that education, and if we give them education and we power them with education, they're going to change. But these people who are very poisoned by this Salafi jihadi agenda, and I have to here be very, very specific, I don't mean all Muslims. I know that other Muslims are also the victim of this Salafi jihadi sect. I'm talking about these Salafi jihadi people, ISIS, like the supporters of the regime. They think that if we educate them or give them some advantages and make them enjoy all what the West had enjoyed, they're going to change. The fact is that they are not changing. The opposite. They are just elevating these tools to just become more extreme. Now I want to also go back to this the fatwa owner
Just before
Muammar
that,
Shara.
Dania, before
Sorry.
that, just before
Yeah.
that, I mean, I think that if we do look at their education, they do use this education they do study, they are engineers, they do study sciences, and they do study engineering.
Exactly.
But they are using that in order to develop bombs, to develop weapons, to develop nuclear weapons. We saw what happened here in Israel a few weeks ago. We saw
That's
the
the
threat of
point.
nuclear weapon. So we didn't give them. They got educated, but they used it for wrong reasons. And I think that the world hears, and I think that the world knows everything that is happening, but it chooses to look away. Life goes on elsewhere. People gave more attention to the couple cheating in the Coldplay show.
Wow.
Yeah. More than they did.
Unfortunately, yes.
Unfortunately, more than they did give attention to the massacre that is going on there. Now,
And
it is a
You're
systematic
so right. You're so right.
massacre.
That hurt my eyes.
It is a systematic massacre, ethnic cleansing, and it also, as we said, it is aimed towards women, because when they control women and they control their bodies, they murder their men, they control the whole community. And we know what happens. They will convert them to Islam. They will use them for sex trafficking. They will use them for horrible, horrible purposes. And we cannot stay silent.
No.
We cannot stay silent for that.
That's
I
insane.
don't know.
You mentioned that they watch these videos. That's so true. I was looking at my feed to try to see what are they talking about in Western, media, and all I saw is just this blurry image of a man hugging a woman from behind, and then like some images of him hiding, and then a lot of memes. I didn't really pay attention, but I was wondering what is that? What's going on? And I kept looking and
Yeah, it got
scrolling
more
down.
covered.
You're not in the right circles, Mansour.
So that's
You're
the
not in the
Coldplay.
right circles.
Yeah, that's the Coldplay you were talking about. So they're more concerned about someone in a show of a Coldplay than an entire community of 1 million people, by the way. One of the smallest communities on this earth, really, guys. One of the smallest religion communities on the face of this planet is being massacred right now by Muslims. They're kidnapping their women, they're killing their husbands, they're kidnapping their children, they're raping their women.
I do want to say something that today, we're in different closed groups, and one just posted something that his only crime was being a Druze. Now, that is something that is also very important. It is not a crime being a Druze. It is not a crime being a Jew. It is not a crime being a Christian or anything else. On the contrary, everyone should be very proud of their identity. And this man that we saw his video today, when they asked him what you are, who you are, what is your identity, he said, I am Syrian.
Yeah.
And they said, no, are you Muslim or a Druze? And later on, he kept. That was so.
That was horrific. That was horrific.
He stayed true to his identity. He said, yes, brother, I am Druze. And then they shot him.
I saw that.
It is not a crime. You cannot treat people as criminals for who they are.
Yeah. If there's any other definition for ethnic cleansing, it can't be more than that. If whoever saw this horrific videos, it stays with your mind. It's a very hard video to watch, by the way. If you're weak at these things or it hurts you very much, I recommend stay away from this. But if you watch that video, it shows a man, maybe in his 50s, dressed in a normal kind of simple Syrian kind of shirt and a pants. And he's on the floor outside of a building, could be a bank, could be something else. And there's a few jihadists pointing at him and he's begging them on the floor, please don't shoot me, please don't, I'm a Syrian, I'm just a Syrian like you guys. And he is. By the way, the Druze in Syria are Syrian citizens. And they keep asking him, no, what's your religion? And he says, who are you? I'm a Syrian. And then when he, in the end, tells them, I'm Druze, they immediately shoot him and then they start laughing and filming it all live. So if that is not ethnic cleansing, then what is?
Mansour, have you seen the video of Hossam Saraya? He's American. He's an American Druze who was executed publicly in Syria a few days ago, together with his whole family. Now, this guy, I just tried to see who this guy. He's a master. He has master degree in business management, and on one of his videos for his business, he was talking about how proud he is to be studying in Syrian universities, and how proud he is to be a Syrian who is delivering, this identity in the best way he could to the Western world. And now we're thinking, and one of the people today had asked me a question, one of the podcasts. He said, "What do you think the Druze people position would be in the modern Syria?" And I was like, deep down, I was laughing. What modern Syria? Is this modern? What we are seeing now is just, the timeline, time capsule. The time capsule that takes you 100 years ago.
Moderate Syria
We are
doesn't exist.
we are thousands of years ago. I don't think in the history of human being we would be able to, absorb what is happening now in 2025. That what is happening now is happening really in these times where, as Laila said before, we see all the atrocities, all the footages, all the recordings are really available, and still people don't want to listen or see.
Wow. And he's American, and I'm not seeing American media talking about it. He's an American, and you mentioned something. He's
Nothing.
a Syrian. He's a proud Syrian, and I think the most beautiful Syrians I've ever met were Druze. They were nothing jihadist in their bones. They were proud of being Syrian. I know many of them. They loved the culture, the food, the mate, the mulubi. They were kept talking about their culture and how much they love
That's
Syria,
where they are dangerous.
and how much they hope that Syria will one day be at peace with Israel, with other countries. So these are the Syrians that the Jawlani regime is killing. These are the Syrians that he's doing a fatwa. Someone wrote here, a Druze girl recognized her
Yeah,
lover from the hair tie on his arm because his body was completely disfigured.
I saw this video as well, unfortunately, and it was also mesmerizing. It was so. But I do also have to say that in all of this, there is hope, and there are a lot of good things that are happening. I also saw this video of women warriors, fighters, Druze fighters, and these young women, Druze women. I mean, you cannot do anything but to praise them and just to thank them. They were saluting each other. It was girls, boys, men, women, elders, religious, non-religious. They were saluting each other, and they were supporting each other, because that's what we are at the end. At the end, it doesn't matter if I'm from a certain village, you're from a certain village, she's from a different country. I don't know if anyone can understand what bond the Druze have. I don't know if anyone can understand how we feel towards each other. It's like, today I was thinking about that. It's like twin brothers and sisters, twin siblings, when you feel something is wrong with your brother or your sister. And it's the same. We have the same DNA for thousands of years. We have. Are you okay?
Yeah. No, I'm just everything that I'm thinking, and I'm looking and thinking about
It
these
is.
women that have their husbands just murdered in front of their eyes, and they see these very filthy jihadist perverts came in flocks from all over the Middle East, by the way, foreign fighters included, that came there to slaughter and kill them. And these women, they know right now that once they don't even have time to mourn for the death of their son, their young boy who just died and killed, or the death of her father, Sheikh, who they humiliated in front of her, shaved his beard, the death of her husband. And meanwhile, she's right now trying to maybe hold to a baby while she's being dragged on a motorcycle by a bunch of jihadists who are chanting Allahu Akbar and making a video and sending all their friends. Just like when you go on vacation and you see something beautiful you want to share with your friends. They want to share with their friends how they stole a Druze woman, how they humiliated a Druze woman. For them, it's a big pride, by the way. For those who don't understand, the Druze don't marry outside that religion. They keep it inside. They stay together. It's a very small religion, very secretive. That's how they survived. And many, many times Muslims try to come and steal their women because they take a lot of pride in destroying what's beautiful, what's sacred. And the Druze went to the mountains to hide, to protect themselves and protect their women and children because they knew that these guys want to come and rape and kill them and enforce Islam and Sharia law on them, by the way, by birth. Because in Islam, women have no right. That's what we're talking right now. It's Salafi Islam. They're very basic, very extremist. Women have no right. And a man can come and kill another man and take a woman, sleep with her, rape her basically, and as per that religion, she just became Muslim because he married her. Now she have no say. And if she chooses to leave that religion, they can kill her. And technically, she can't do anything. She's going to be at home, beat up, and used as a sex slave. But she's considered part of the Muslim army. They're just expanded. Missionaries, Christian missionaries, that would say, we come, we talk to you, we tell you about Jesus, and if you accept Jesus, you'll go and pray for him, and it needs to be something personal, and then you go baptized, and you became a Christian now. But it needs to be something personal. They like to say that quite a lot. I've heard many Christians say that God doesn't have grandchildren, you have only children, meaning that it needs to be something personal. Islam doesn't believe in this stuff. I'll kill your husband, I'll rape your wife, she becomes Muslim, the kid becomes Muslim, and if they leave, I will kill them and move on. And then I'll go and do that to another woman. That is Salafi Islam for you. That is Syria for you right now as we're speaking. Now, I'm so thankful for the people who are, giving here super thanks, and I'm going to read it all in the end. But thank you so much, guys. I appreciate that so much. It's helping us so much. But like I said, in the end, I'm going to give the platform to say thank you and to answer some questions. But I want to ask a question here. Laila, you mentioned something that you were in talk with doctors in Syria. Now, can you tell us how are they? What is the situation there from the medical perspective?
Unfortunately, we know that there is medical aid that is headed to Syria from Israel mostly, but from different organizations in different places. Unfortunately, as any different aid, these shipments, these medical equipment are being targeted. They're being robbed. People who try to take it, people who try to benefit from it are being murdered. Okay? We're talking about medical crews. We're talking about doctors. We're talking about people. I don't know, but I also know that
You say doctors are being murdered.
Yes. Yes.
Can you expand on that?
I cannot really expand on a lot of things. I'm very sorry for that, but I can say that some of the doctors that we were in touch with were murdered. And now we have no contact there.
When was that? When was the last time you spoke to them?
Yesterday. And I also know that the UN has fled. We asked about the UN. They have fled. No Red Cross, no UN, no any humanitarian organizations there. So they just left those people to their own fate, to their death. And if the world does not intervene now, the world is also complicit. They're also partners in this crime. I think what mostly needs to be done now is to activate every global mechanism of justice, to demand an international investigation for war crimes. What is happening there are war crimes. It's not just, it's not just a fight between high school pupils. Okay? I think the world needs to deploy international protective forces, people to come and help. I don't know how it works, really. I don't know. I'm just speaking from the bottom of my heart.
Laila, to those who don't understand, this is your first time doing a live, right?
Yeah.
Laila was sending me a message today. We never spoke like this before. And she told me, please, if I can
wish
come
we would have spoken in different occasions, but...
Me too. And she told me that this is going to be the first time that she's going to go live and speak. But she felt that it's burning inside of her, especially as a woman. hearing what's
I
happening to
think
the world?
yes. Mostly, we also need to put an end to the rape and murder of women as part of this vile war ideology. It cannot be war tactics. It cannot be used. We also need to provide aid to women who survived it, who survived this rape, the girls who were wounded in both body and soul. Okay, these are the women who survived. Others were kidnapped, were abducted, others were burned alive, others were brutally murdered. It's not just a local crime. I mean, we're talking about crime against humanity. And the free world, everyone with conscience cannot sit still. You cannot just stand by. I mean, people need to do something. You cannot let this horror just pass in silent. I don't know, share, shout, write, apply pressure, just do something. And if people continue to stay silent, they are complicit in this crime. And if they choose to look away, one day they will stand before a mirror and they will not be able to face themselves. They will not be able to look themselves in the eye. So now
Can you
you have to choose. People have to choose. The world has to choose where you want to be. What do you want to do? Because it will not end in Suwayda. It will not end in Syria with the Druze of Syria. They will come to Israel and it will not end with Israel. If they move on from Israel, they will come to Europe and then they will come to the other places. We already see what is happening in Europe. It's invasion. We know what is happening there. And it just, they just fake it till they make it, exactly like they did in Syria. When Giuliani when everything happened in Syria lately, and they thought that maybe something will change, but he was just faking it till he made it. And now we can see the real faces.
Yeah, yeah. I want to come back to it, Laila, but I see that Rania here is on the airplane already. So maybe before we lose her to connections, maybe Rania, you want to say a few more things that you want to share with the world to use this platform. Please go. We can't hear you. You need to probably unplug. Yes, we hear you now.
I just want to say 3 sentences before I go because we are departing. 3 things. First, this is not about sectarian violence. After all what we are talking, we have to always repeat this. This is an attempt to annihilate an ethno-religious minority. This is an attempt for ethnic cleansing. Second, remember that also Hitler was a legitimate leader at some point. He was a president of a country at some point. Don't repeat the history, please. That's all.
Thank you, Rania.
I need to get out of the phone. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Safe flight. Rania, apparently her mother was the bridemaid of my mom. And they are still best friends. I can't hear you, Laila. I unmuted you.
I just said that her mother happens to be my aunt as well. So
see, that's what I said in the beginning to people. Like, the Druze is a small community. We all know each other. Everyone is affected by the slaughter, by this October 7th that is happening. Everyone have some kind of a relative or a friend of a friend. Rania's mom, I didn't know that. Apparently, she's one of my mom's best friends. I've never spoke to Rania before. She's living in the US. But now, since what's happening, we're talking to so many Druze, but mostly I would say we're talking to many Druze from the Suwayda. Let's not forget that they are the real heroes right now who are fighting for this land. As you were mentioning, these invasion, and once the jihadists made the brother-in-law of Jolani made the fatwa, the religious verdict to go and rape, kill Druze men and kidnap their women as sex slave. One of the snipers that I'm talking to that is down on the ground there fighting to save lives. And he's been right now, trying to protect the little girl that they saved, that her parents got slaughtered. He would climb up to a building to send me a message. Every day he tries to send me one message. And I told him, please don't risk your life to send me the message. But he says it's important for the world to know. And every day he goes in and sends me 1 or 2 audio messages. They don't have reception because the internet was cut on them by the government. They're trying to silence it. And in that time when he was up on that roof or a little bit above the roof, he's a smart sniper. He knows that he doesn't go on the roof. But he showed me a video. And he said, you see, this is Suwayda. And you see, look at the horizon. And you saw a cloud of dust all over the horizon. Looked like something from Mad Max. And he came and said, these are another wave of jihadists that are coming from all over the Middle East, including foreign fighters and government soldiers, because they heard that they're allowed to murder Druze and steal their women. He said, we've just been here fighting for 2 days now, fending off against these Muslims that are coming in their hordes. And now we see more of them coming, just coming to kill us all and slaughter and just do the most horrific crimes against humanity and steal our women and children. And then he asked me, where is the world? Why is anyone sending us anything? Why is anyone talking about it? Why is anyone coming and stopping this onslaught? How long can we stay here standing tall in this mountain and fight and tell the world that the Druze will not bend the knee to Sharia, they will not succumb under this evil, radical Salafi Muslim regime that is ruling Syria? But seeing these images and thinking that these guys are fighting there, they barely have food, barely have water, no one is sending supplies. The only one that is trying to help them is Israel. And for some bizarre reason, the Western world is trying to pull Israel away from getting involved because they don't want her the PR attempts for Jawlani. So the world is more involved in becoming the PR, a public relation agency for an ISIS terrorist, and to do everything they can to not make him look bad, and meanwhile cover for a genocide, hide it from your eyes, people in Europe, from your eyes, people in America, holding back Israel, the only one that actually knows what's going on there, who's saying we're going to go and we're going to stop them. We're going to send these jihadists to hell. We're not going to let them touch the Druze, but they're not letting them, because if Israel does that, then suddenly Jawlani will not look so good. How come Israel needs to come into
And
his
some
country?
prizes will be in danger.
What is that?
Some prizes will be in danger.
Who's going to be in danger?
Some Nobel prizes.
Nobel Prizes, yes. Yeah, some prizes will be in danger. Some fictionary image of the Jawlani joining the Abrahamic Accord. It's never going to happen, guys. This is what's happening in Syria. That's his work. So if Israel will go and save the Druze, imagine how bad Jawlani would look right now. You just try to slaughter your people, and Israel had to come and intervene and stop you from doing that. Then European countries might. I still don't have much hope for European countries when it comes to international policies. But then maybe European countries will start saying, maybe we shouldn't send him billions of dollars. Maybe even America will say, maybe we shouldn't lift sanctions from an ISIS terrorist that is, But they don't want you to see. They know that, by the way. They don't want you to know that, because they want you to still believe that Jawlani is some kind of a Che Guevara, a hipster, newborn Muslim religious leader that is secular, that is going to bring democracy to Syria. What are you talking about? What are you talking about? There's more than 1,000 Druze women who were kidnapped.
It's just another side of the same coin.
Which coin?
The coin, the other side was just before him. When Assad ran away and they thought it's going to be different, no, you just flipped the coin. That's exactly what happened.
I will say even that Assad, evil as he may have been, was very secular. Assad was he was a drug dealer. He was a very secular guy. Evil. He was equally evil to everyone, but at least we were not seeing this kind of ethnic cleansing in the name of religion with Assad. He was just killing people because he was a sadistic, bastard. But Jawlani and his people, they're extreme religion, and they're trying to follow, same like ISIS, by the way, Islam as Islam should be, which is the al-Muslimiyya, which is basically go back to these places where there's slaves, where there's sex slaves, where there's loot of war. He went and he glorified the Bedouins. The Bedouins are the one who are committing these crimes. We've seen it. It's no one is denying it. You've seen them. They're going proudly doing it. And then Jawlani goes and says, "Good job, brave Bedouins." So that is the government.
That's exactly what bothers me. I'm a teacher. I'm an English teacher, and sometimes we teach a lot. I teach a lot of literary pieces, and we talk a lot of war zones, and we talk about different periods in history, and we talk about the Holocaust. And my students, I mean, they're high school and junior high, and they cannot really understand. If we're talking about these times, they couldn't understand how people did not know about what happened during the Holocaust, for example, what happened during different wars. And I would just say that they didn't have communication like we have today. They didn't have the internet. They didn't have those endless channels, radios, whatever. So that's what I'm saying. Today, you cannot say that we didn't see, we didn't hear, we didn't know, because everything is available. Everyone is trying to bring their voices. Everyone is trying to show you everything. You are the ones who are choosing to look away. And don't do that. You are the ones who are choosing not to take action. You cannot say we didn't see, we didn't know, because you know, and we just bring it to you. We give it to you on a plate. Just look what is happening. But it's your choice whether to believe it, whether to take action, whether to stay still.
These
And
are very
again,
simple words, Laila.
and again, if you do stay still, you're partners in crime.
People during the Holocaust days were making a lot of excuses they didn't know. You're right. We didn't know what was happening. Germans, we didn't know what was happening. Some of them might have actually didn't know, but most of them I think did. But people said they didn't know. Now there's no excuses, literally.
There
How
are no
dare.
excuses, exactly.
But I tell you who can be held accountable for that, because Western media have become like some kind of a drug, opium for the crowd. They know what to show you to keep you away from what they don't want to show you. So they want you to watch a scandal about some guy who cheated on his wife with another girl at a Coldplay concert. They will put
By
that
the way,
every.
he's the only one who got fired. Why didn't she got fired?
I don't know the story, but I guess you're telling me that.
I will tell it to you on a different occasion.
Telling me the different case. And honestly, I couldn't be bothered with these nonsense. I have so many other things, but yeah, maybe.
So
Someone
where's
is
the
asking,
world going? I mean, that's what bothers you. That's what interests you.
yeah. So someone is saying, Mansour, not likely. They will just twist it into some Israeli crazy land grab ideas in the middle of a gang fighting and in government trying to stop the violence. Textbook from mainstream. I hope I'm wrong. No, you're not wrong, Julsi. You're actually very right. This is exactly what is happening. It seems like the West have sold the life of many, many Christians, Yazidis, Druze in Syria, all on a very bizarre attempt to make an ISIS terrorist to look good. There's no other explanation. Everything that I
You
said
just
right
put him on
now
a
is
pedestal.
the truth. He's an ISIS terrorist. He was wanted by Europe and by America for being an ISIS terrorist. And one day they decided, let's remove the terrorist title. And now let's run a PR campaign for him to make him look good. That's exactly. And anything that might make him look bad, like the fact that he's actually trying to genocide people in his country and ethnically cleanse because of religious reasons from a government level, not just from the jihadist level. Let's hide that. That doesn't make him look good. Israel want to go and save innocents in Syria. Don't let them do that. That's gonna make him look bad. How did? And I'm gonna ask a very hard question. Last American administration, and I know many people are gonna get angry at me for saying that, but I don't care. I have this
Are you
platform.
talking to me or
Anyway,
to the audience?
talking to the audience.
Mhm.
I don't know if you're gonna get angry. I don't think, but this is my platform, and I'm gonna use my voice to talk about the things that I think. And you know what? The last administration in America was heavily infiltrated by the Shia, by Iran, by the supporters, Muslim Brotherhood. We all know that. They leaked classified cases. We had, all this the squad in the US of these Muslim Brotherhood females that were trying to romanticize the Intifada. It was obvious. You have, Kamala's daughter was raising money for a terrorist organization. And then came the Trump administration, and they seem to have been also infiltrated only by Sunni money this time. And suddenly they're listening to advisors like Turkey or Saudi Arabia about what's happening in the Middle East, but these guys don't have the same interests that you have. Why is it that America is allowing themselves to be dictated by Arab money, right, left, and center, and not listen to their only ally in the Middle East, which is Israel? I want to remind you, try to remember who cheered and gave baklawas when 9/11 happened and who didn't. I can tell you who didn't. The Jews, the Druze, and the Christians. I can tell you who did. Many of these Muslim countries that are taking their money right now, they're not your friends. Some of them may be more, some of them may be less, but most of them don't have really the best interest for your country. And if America will start falling one day, I can tell you who's going to stand by America, Israel. Tell you who won't stand by America. A lot of these countries are sending you money right now. So I think they need to really do some kind of a house check. Who is giving them advice? Who is giving them money? There's no free gifts in this world. There's no free gifts. That's why I keep I've said no to so many weird sponsorship deals that wanted to come and support my channel. Doing it all by myself. Everything I'm doing myself. Editing myself, doing everything by myself, feeding my family all by my hard work doing this because I said I don't want anyone to be able to tell me what to say. There's no free gifts in this world. There is sometimes you find good people along the way that will want to support and help you. God bless you, and people that are sending here supports, thank you so much. But when people start giving you a lot of money, we're talking like a lot of money, they want something in return. And when these countries are religious Muslim countries, full on with Sharia, active Sharia law, they want something in return. And here we're seeing it. They want you to turn a blind eye from the massacre of the Druze, of the Christians, of American citizens, and they want you to not listen to your allies, Israel, and hold them back. Because it's all about land grabbing. Let me tell you that. In the Muslim world, it's all about grabbing land. They want to grab as much land as they can and as much, converts as they can.
Force.
What is that?
A lot of power. They want power. They want
They want
force. They
power.
want
Yeah,
control.
they want control. So anything that serves that that agenda, they will be beside you. Anything that doesn't, they'll suddenly turn against you. Remember, Saudi Arabia was all against Palestine, like outly spoken. Muslim Brotherhood, they don't like them. Partners of Iran, they hate Iran. But when Trump came and offered that maybe let's buy Gaza, let's make it the Trump Riviera, suddenly they became full on pro Palestine. Full on pro Palestine. And with
Oh,
that,
hello. Here's another member of the family.
yeah, I'll just finish that, Khalifa, because you busted in. What happened is that they saw that they might lose a Muslim land to the Christians or the Jews. And in Islam, it's very clear how they divide the world. Dar al-Harb, Dar al-Islam, Dar al-Salam. The house of war, any place that is not under Sharia law, not under the law of Islam, is the house of war. That includes America, by the way. That includes Russia, China, all these places. Europe, well, not so much. Europe is becoming Sharia law soon. But you get my point. And anywhere else. So that's why they twist and they change and they want to be the strongest lobby in your country, in Europe, in America. That's why they're buying everything. They're buying their way to shape a new world order, which is not going to be good for any of us. So, with that said, we just had another Khalifa join the podcast, and it seems like your family relatives.
No, we just share the same family name.
Really, I've
Yeah,
never met a Druze with that family name, and then the two of you have it.
we were from two different places. Yeah.
Okay.
Good
They
evening,
say in
Hebrews and
Arabic
Hebrews.
قلال بس بركتنا كبيرة.
Claro, Barkat Nakir. Yes, good evening, Hebrews and Shebrews. Just like you always say, Khalifa, can you please give us some update from where you're coming from? I know that you've been busy like a madman. If you're not with your sheeps and your dogs, shepherd dogs in the mountains, I'm following your Instagram,
Yeah,
then
I
you
went.
are jumping from one news station to another, trying to bring the voice of the Druze. Can you tell us what's happening?
Yeah, well, I got an interview today with the South African radio, and it was quite an experience because the reporter sent me, an article of South Africa condemning Israel on attacking Damascus. And I say, like, I went bananas with the in this report. I got so furious when I read the article. She did a mistake. Like, no, I think she wanted me to be pissed off because she sent me the article, and then where we went on air, and I said, it's one thing that you could say, well, the Middle East is far away, and I think there's complicated nuances, and we need, as a government, to get the whole picture of it. But with no idea what's going on and pinpointing, looking at one data piece that Israel bombed Damascus with not knowing what's happening, what's the whole picture. And I said, that's not only stupid, that's malicious, that's evil, because you're playing with the hands of the narrative of the bad guys, and we are living here, not you. And you can't tell us, like, sorry, uh, what is the true narrative. You can ask, you can say, hey, we need more data, more information, it's always good. And I said, I gave a recommendation to the South African government. I said, you need first to articulate your thoughts about what's happening in Israel. You feel the righteousness of what you are going to say. And after you feel it in your bones, what you are gonna say, just do the opposite 180 degrees, because you are like a broken clock
That's a good
showing the,
advice.
yeah,
That will
because the
improve. That will improve their accuracy by basically, I think, 97%.
definitely. Then you're in punto. So that was one of the experience that I had today. Today was relatively easy because it's been stressful for me. So I went and I have been with my dogs and sheep and goats. I even had a phrase with my daughter, like, hold your goats. Now we are doing hold your goats stuff. And but I have very interesting and exciting news that we're doing the the Druze community in all the world. We had a 7 October experience, and we all know how the October 7, how it united the Israeli narrative, and how it gathered the whole people, knowing that there are two contradiction ideologies: Islamists, the extremists, or those who seek life, a death cult, and those who seek life, although life is tough. And this is exactly what's happening with the Druze community, because me and you were trying to raise the flags and saying, hey, there's a great danger with what's going on with Syria. The evil forces that been massacring each other for the past 15 years, they didn't go away. They're moving from one part to another, to Alawites, to Christians, to Kurds,
Ethnically
to
cleansing, ethnically cleansing, whatever they can, wherever they can, until they get told to stop, and then they move on the next target.
Well,
Exactly.
there's a phrase saying that when you are a hammer, you see the whole world as nails, and when you are a terrorist, you see the whole world as something that you wanna explode or like
Terrorize.
damage, terrorize. Exactly.
Look, I want to
So
read. Sorry for cutting you, Khalifa. I've been hearing,
sure.
I've been reading a lot of things from Mayar here, and he seems to be a Druze from Suwayda. They just mentioned here, a lot of my friends, college students, died in my arms. Those monsters spread no one. They were thirsty for blood, and they did not differentiate between men, women, children, or elderly. That's the stuff we're getting. That's the reports, guys. And I want to also, I want your attention. Maybe you can give me an answer, on Khalifa, because I got a bit tired, and I'm gonna try to answer that, by the way. But just feel like a broken record, trying to make the world wake up. So Aziz is asking here, Aziz Kultum. Thank you so much for this generous, also super thanks, Aziz. He's asking a very important question, and I'll translate it for you. It's in Hebrew. I'm an Israeli Jew. I don't know how to support the Druze. Maybe you can tell me which way. Please, can you tell me how? I'm hearing so many people in Israel. They're just frustrated. They're seeing, not only in Israel, by the way, they're seeing jihadists walking with beheaded heads of Druze men, rejoicing. They're seeing them stealing their women, their children, and no one is doing anything to stop it. No one is even talking about it. They're seeing how they're desecrating the bodies, how they're shaving the beards of these sheikhs, how they're going and shooting innocent Syrian civilians who are Druze. And they're just there. I mean, Syrian civilians, like, and they shoot. Are you Druze or not? Yes, executing them. And it's hard to say that, and I don't want to offend anyone. I have the entire. I would always remember October 7 as one of the worst atrocities that happened to the Jews since the Holocaust. But what we're seeing right now is images that are even worse than what we saw on October 7 in the scale, in the magnitude. Israel, thank God, had the IDF to stop October 7 from getting to that scale. But in Syria, not only don't have the IDF to stop it, the government is doing it. So many people are asking, as a Jew, as an Israeli, and I would say even as a citizen of the world, Khalifa, how do you think people can help the Druze in Syria to stop this genocide that is still ongoing as we speak?
First of all, you need to speak out. And as a Jew, an Israeli Jew, you should promote the narrative that Israel is helping an Arab ethnic group, which is crazy. People like looking at Israel bombing Damascus, but no, Israel is basically had a beef with United States of America, the strongest country in the world, were the biggest ally. Like United States tried to stop them and said, "No, I'm standing with the Druze community." Like Israel, nobody could force Israel to do anything with the Druze community, and basically it had to push all objection for this thing because somehow it doesn't fit the narrative of the Cinderella story. You should promote the idea that Syria is not a country. Everybody is talking about this geographic place as a country. It's not a country. It's a Mad Max country. That's two different things. It's a place where tribes, clans, and the mafias, or I don't know, terror organizations are fighting for domination. And there's also ethnic groups over there. So it's not a country. Syria is not a country in not in any shape, way, or form, and it needs to prove to the international community that it's a country, and it needs to have some criteria that it needs to hit, and it's not hit. Everybody is treating it like it's a country, but it's not, and they need to share, to tell their friends, to tell everybody what's happening to the Druze because nobody seems to care. We've seen the images, and they all need to know that people that support this terrifying regime are helping ethnic cleansing of the Druze community. And it's not because, we love like the Palestinians do say genocide. You and me are doing this for a long time. We never said the word genocide until we've seen in our own eyes. Even in May 1st, when bad things happened, we didn't mention genocide. There were fightings, and it wasn't, a fair fight, but it wasn't a genocide. What's happening here? We've seen the commands. We need to show the world over and over again. Hey, do you think Palestinians are shouting with genocide? Let me show you what a real genocide is. When you try to imagine the situation, let's put this in perspective for everybody to understand. Let's try to think like I don't know, Spain. Spain woke up one day with all its, air force, with all its artillery, with all its army. Woke up one day and somehow the Catalonians are not so good looking for them and said, okay, let's wipe this place off, and not only with the army, let's call everybody who doesn't love the Catalonians to come and participate in this bloodbath. This is what happened with Suwayda. and everybody needs to know the horrific atrocities of what happened, but also the triumph of the Druze to push back this attack, which is an amazing story. It shows how brave they are, how they dedicated to each other, how much they love each other, and tell the story of the Druze. We trying. This is what I was trying to tell you. On Thursday, we are working with our religion, like our spiritual leader, Sheikh Muwaffaq Tarif. I'm gonna meet him. We're going to film like a video, a film that I'm doing. I've been working on this film for the longest time, more than a year now, and try to co-work all the Druze of the world, all the Druze lovers in the world, also all the Jews. We are together in this fight, and we should all assemble and push back with the terrorists, because the terrorists could make all those cowards just to bend over and try to say, yeah, yeah, okay, those guys are okay, but we are not going to stop, and we are going to prosecute. And if you know lawyers, all humanitarian groups, Amnesty, all those money laundering organizations that attempt to think or say that they care about human rights, show them off. Say, hey, where are you with the genocide happening with the Druze? Where are you with the stories being showed now in our eyes? Ah, you don't know, so then send them the pictures. Look with what happening with the Druze, because it's such a clear-cut case of a genocide that nobody is talking about. This is the first thing that we should know, say that it's a genocide, and we should hold this regime accountable. This regime must be accountable, and it must face justice, in my opinion. And we, the Druze, even if it's gonna take to the ends of days, we're gonna hunt them down. We're gonna make a Druze Mossad, and we're gonna reach each and every one of those bastards that laid hand on our daughters, on our sisters, or on our families, on our property, and we're gonna make them suffer and be sorry for the day or the second they decided to come to Suwayda. And we're gonna do everything we can do in our means to do this exact thing, to hunt those terrorists down and hunt each and every one of them, because what they did is a crime against humanity, and everyone in the world should learn or hear about this story.
I think 100% agree with you. And how, if I was ChatGPT and I had to summarize what Khalifa said right now, is basically share it with the world, pressure your governments to come and start identifying this genocide, hold them accountable, and help us fight this social media warfare. Let me give you a very good example that helps you understand what is happening, guys. It's crazy. There is about 2 billion Muslims around the world. There's about 1 million Druze around the world. That gives us odds of 2,000 against 1. So for every Druze that is posting right now and trying to show you what's happening, I won't say that all 2 billion are supporting it, but let's say a quarter of them. Let's say a quarter of them. So 500,000 are going and just sharing something else, telling you a different story. I would say it's probably more than 500,000, let's be honest. So the Jews, when they had October 7, the ratio was about 127 to 1. That's, kind of roughly taking. So we have a 2,000 to 1. We are heavily outnumbered in social media field, and that's something that we greatly need your help here. Now, I just want to share something before we move on, because I want to also ask Laila, what does she think about this? Mayar, who seems to be a Druze from Suwayda, as per what he's saying, is adding, Mansour, thank you for everything. I know that you work tirelessly to stand up for us because you and the people of Israel, we are still alive. I want to say something very clear, Mayar. It's not because of us, it's because of you guys. You were the brave men and women that stood there in that mountain, did not bend the knee to Sharia, and kept fighting to defend your honor, to defend your people, your children, and you're still doing. We are just trying our best to have the world watch what you guys are doing. You are the real heroes. I can't even say that enough. I can't say enough every time that I think and imagine what you are going through right now. In October 7 on epic scale, and no one is trying to help you but Israel. And the world is trying to shame Israel for trying to help you. So you are the true hero. Please, please stay alive, all of you. We pray that you stay alive, that you survive, and I pray that you manage to bring back all the kidnapped women and children that got stolen from their homes. For the dead, we can only pray and give them an honorable burial one day and a memorial. I know they've desecrated many bodies, and it's very hard for many to think about not properly being able to bury your children. But for the live ones, stay alive and keep fighting, guys. I really hope that you will survive this genocide. We're doing our best to help that. Laila, I see that you want to say something,
Yeah,
so
I wanted to strengthen what you just said. You know, in the last few days, I there were moments I I myself felt a bit of a hypocrite because I'm just sitting in my room in my air conditioner and trying to talk about things, and then I think about our brothers and sisters, our families in Syria and what they are going through. And as you said, they are the true heroes. We salute you, we praise you. It is very important for us to also say that you are in our hearts, you're in our minds. We 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 love you, we feel you. We cannot imagine what you guys are going through. We can only do what we can do best, and it is to advocate for you. And if we could have hold weapons and come in, we would have. I'm quite sure everyone would have done that. But again, you're in our hearts, you're in our souls. We think about you day and night. People here, Jewish people here, are working tirelessly, working day and night just to advocate you, to share with the world what is happening. And that's the best we can do right now. And for those who asked what you can do, protest. Every square, every street, every city, every country. If you feel part of humanity, just do that. And again, I will say that if people stay silent, they are partners in crime. That's the least you can do. Protest, share, say. I mean, just announce it to the world. Just show it to the world. Every moment of silence just kills. And you cannot stay silent.
thank you. Thank you, Laila. We're coming close to the end of the show, guys. Like we said, we tried to bring you a different perspective this time by having two Israeli Druze women before the Shepherd Khalifa jumped into the conversation here to try to share some of the atrocities that are happening towards women and children in Syria, not only towards the defending and the men, but also the entire situation. I want to take the time right now just to read some of the comments that I starred and also the super thanks. So thank you so much, Sami. That's very kind of you, as well as Liad Levi. Haim Israel نتشعت Druzim. Did Israel abandon the Druze? I don't believe so. I know that the people of Israel did not abandon the Druze 100%. From the government, it seems to be quite a slowdown of the support after the first day. They could have easily prevented that October 7, by the way, 100%, just like they could have easily prevented October 7 over Israel. But over there was a different case. They were caught with their pants down, unprepared. I know there's a lot of conspiracy theories about it, but we're not going to go into that. But with Syria, we saw it coming, but Israel being held back by someone. And when they started, they had to just stop, and they had to do it more discreetly. And it seems like there's a lot of forces trying to make Jolani look good on the expense of the life of the innocent Christians and Druze in Syria. But thank you so much, Liad Levi. Kandra, I have heard that we are sending medical aid in. Is this true? I think Laila can answer that maybe straight into the point. Laila, what do you know about this?
I know that there are medical aids that go through. I know that the people involved are doing their best to make sure that this aid will reach the right hands. And that's all I can say about that in the moment.
And also that they basically end up killing the people you guys are in touch with, the doctors and nurses in Suwayda that were
Yeah.
receiving this aid. So the hospital got overrun there, got slaughtered, butchered, and decommissioned even.
We didn't
So
have the chance also to talk about what happened in hospitals, but that's a whole other story.
maybe we
That's
can do that in another episode. I'm trying to do one live every day. Maybe we can jump again tomorrow or another day. We can talk about it. But that's the answer for Kendra. Thank you so much. Maya Glikin, that's very generous. Thank you so much for that as well. We appreciate all the support that you guys are doing for this channel and in general for the cause. We're trying to come and speak for the truth. Truly, I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of those, truly, I tell you, whatever you did for one of the least of these brothers and sisters of mine, you did for me. Matthew 25:40. That is a beautiful verse, one of my favorite verse over there, because it reminds us that we all are part of one body called the human race, and we're called. I know it's talking there about the Christian body more. I want to take it even more expanded. Not only if you're Christian, we should all suffer when another human being suffer. We should all feel the pain when another human being fall. We should all rejoice when another human being rejoice. With that said, we're talking about the good guys. You shouldn't be rejoicing when the Nazis are rejoicing or the jihadists because they're rejoicing over the suffer of your brothers and sisters. But the fact that there's so many human beings around the world that are so easily misled or deliberately choosing to rejoice over the suffering of the Druze and the Jews, knowingly, deep inside, I'm pretty sure they know that the forces of evil are coming trying to destroy Israel and its allies and the Christians in the Middle East, and they choose to rejoice, just shows us what a terrible state we are. So that's a beautiful verse, and I hope more people will follow it. Thank you so much, Shauna. Zulzer Stulzer Cthulhu. I met Syrian Sunni here in Germany, and they're really bad people. I tell you guys a secret I'm seeing right now. Khalifa, we're just going through the thanks in the end here and just, answering some questions. So I've seen several demonstrations in Europe now with people walking with pictures of Jolani, glorifying him, and even saying that Syria should keep slaughtering the Druze. Same people that demonstrated during October 7 and supported it are going in Syria right now and supporting what Jolani is doing to the Druze, which is undoubtedly a crime against humanity. But that just shows you what kind of people are in Syria. Let me tell you a secret. A lot of these jihadists that you're seeing holding heads in their hands, slaughtering women and children, and running away with them, some of them came to Syria, to Europe. Many of them. Many of the Syrian migrants that came to Syria, and I know many people are going to get angry at me for saying that, but many of them support what's happening right now in Syria. Not all, but many do. And you see them in the streets. So if I was Europe, I think that's a great chance to start taking names. All right, these people are clearly Salafi, radicals, Islamists, genocide supporters, real genocide supporters. You don't want them in your country. Let them do the calculation they want to do. But if I was the intelligence forces of these countries, that's one of the first verdicts I will take. Go to these demonstrations, see everyone that is pro-Palestine, take names. Everyone that is pro-Assad regime, take names. Pro-Jolani regime, take names. Take names. I'm not saying all of them. Some of them might be, but many of them actively support these kind of things, and that's not a great idea to keep them in your country. Anyone who's going something Intifada revolution, take name, deport them, deport them. You don't want them in your country. You don't want them. Trust me on that.
as we
I
said,
wanna
it's invasion.
Mm-hmm.
They're very sneaky. They sneaked into your countries. They sneaked into your cities, into your schools, into your buildings. They're just
Mm-hmm.
invading you.
Khalifa, you were
I
saying
wanna
something.
yeah, I wanted to share my screen. Can you see it? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
It's a message from Adam Abu Shams, who like the guy from Sweden that we had with in our podcast, and he just sent me this letter. So I think it's worth reading. He
Please.
just signed it on the 22nd of July 2025. Good evening, everyone, and God bless the righteous. To whom it may concern, I am local English translator and a civilian of Suwayda. I want to share my perspective in written form because there is no electricity or reliable internet connection for the past 10 days for me to share my message live in video form. As I write, my phone is at 40% battery, and I will turn it off as soon as I finish writing and send it to my Druze brothers in Israel, for I need to try to contact my friends for family tomorrow. This perspective may represent the overwhelming majority of my brothers in southern Syria. Suwayda is bleeding. The terrorist factions represented by the Ahmad al-Shara al-Julani government do not want peace. With the help of the Sunni and Shia Bedouin tribes previously represented by Iran in Suwayda, they want to ethnically cleanse the Druze in southern Syria. Israel must do in southern Syria as they did in the Yom Kippur War. Israel must take southern Syria. Israel turned the Sunni peninsula into the demilitarized zone and took more land from the Golan Heights. Only Israel can help Suwayda to turn it into demilitarized. Sorry, I'm too tired. I haven't slept for a week. Demilitarized zone,
Demilitarized.
yeah, and take more land from Mount Hermon, thus saving what is left of the Druze, Christians, and secular Muslims in Suwayda, and further protecting Israel borders from harm. There is not much time. God bless the righteous, and peace be upon the Middle East. Sincerely, your humble brother and believer, peace, Adam Hamza. Think it's a good message just to to promote a genuine voice from Sweden trying to reach out for the world, and this is my message to all our Druze friends. Keep reaching out. We want your voice to be heard. We are using our modest platform exactly for that. We are not trying to force a way of thinking, but we are talking about what's happening here. And what is happening is that some group, some government, so called government, is trying to kill our people. It's as simple as that. Not because they did anything, not because they insulted anyone, not because their own being is somehow insulting for those terrorists. And we should say it. Everybody, no matter what is your race, and what you believe in, and what you are doing, you have the right of be equal in front of law and have the basics freedoms that we all enjoy, like we enjoy in Israel. This is what makes Israel such a great country, because we, the Druze, have the right to speak our minds. Not only Druze, everybody, to speak our minds, to believe in whatever we do, unless we harm other people. This is the only law. Don't do harm to other people. It's as simple as that. It's not too complicated. But this simple truth is so hard to grasp for those people. And we should tell them that, and that we don't accept it, because they will start with the Druze, they will end up in Germany. This is it.
Thank you, Khalifa. Iham Haddad is saying here in the US things are shifting. I think the White House is reassessing its position on Julani. Well, wake up and smell the hummus. What took you so long? The whole career in ISIS, or the whole career in Al Qaeda, or the fact that he jumped board from ISIS and Al Qaeda and started his own version of ISIS Al Qaeda? Oh, maybe that he took the government by force and been implementing Salafi Sharia law, or maybe the slaughter of the Alawites, but more than 10,000 of them I've heard, or maybe the church bombing that were carried by his people and covered by his people, or the killing of the Christians, or maybe the genocide that's going against the Druze right now. I mean, what gave it away that the US just started reassessing Jolani? Why did they even assess him from the beginning when the assessment was done already by the CIA for you? Very respectful organization that declared him as a terrorist. So why do you need to reassess him again just because he put a jacket and he's trying to look like a hipster? That is just ridiculous. But anyway, let me try to finish some of the comments here that people have read, to answer all the questions, to say thank you to all the people. So Little Cat Feet, I know she left the show, she said, but thank you so much, ma'am. That's very, very kind of you. Also, I am horrified and have been doing what I can, but I have no VAP contacts. Apostle Prophet drew on a map the villain of Syria. At the end, the map allocated 100% of the land to control by Israel. But I tell you what, as Arabs, and all three of us here can testify, it's the best thing to live under Israel in the Middle East. We're so lucky and so grateful. That's it. So anyone who will get to have that privilege, guys, is going to be very, very happy and have a better life. Unless he's a radical jihadist, and he's not going to like it. Is the IDF, US protecting, arming Sweden right now? No, they're not. We're still waiting for help. And even if things are happening hush hush under the table in a very small minority, like doses, it's not enough. They literally have all the Bedouin tribes of the Middle East almost coming, descending on the mountain to slaughter and kill them, and they are alone there.
I will just say that a lot of the things that are happening and a lot of the help that we're trying to provide is under the radar, because we are trying to protect a lot of people. We don't want to put anyone in danger. So,
Exactly.
yeah.
And
I
also,
want I
we
want to
have
say
a lot of pressure
something.
not to do it. So,
I want to say a small thing about the remark of I don't have VIP friends. You don't have to have
You don't
VIP
have to have.
friends. Mansour, Laila are
We're
very
VIPs.
simple.
We're VIPs, Khalifa.
Yeah, okay. You're the VIP.
you
I'm
are
just a shepherd. Yeah, my VIP is my daughter who did the drawings over here. Everybody is admiring the drawings. So, but you still have power. You are not powerless. And that's very important. No matter where are you, send letters to the representative in your parliament. Ask him what is his stance about what's happening with the Druze people. Try to put this issue to public debate. Let people see the facts. The facts will talk to themselves. That's it. We are seeing the images. We know what we are doing. We know what we are saying. We're not trying to beautify or, try to put ideas to your mind. We saw them slaughtering small children, raping little girls, kidnapping them. They have it in the fucking official TV. They saw the kidnapping of families. You have two, three villages wiped out, wiped out.
Also,
Nobody left them.
one of the
Sorry.
easiest things to do, sorry for interrupting, one of the easiest things to do is to see content, sorry, if you follow of course Mansour and Khalifa and also me and other people, you see a content, you can share it, you can tag a lot of people, you can write messages. For example, I wrote messages to radio anchors, to news anchors, just so they will know. You don't have to have VIP people, contacts, or people in the government. We, the simple people, we, the civilians, we can do a lot of things. Again, by simple things, just tag people, share content, and raise awareness. Raise awareness to what is happening.
Laila,
If you can share a video of a man, of a couple cheating, you can also share this. So.
that's true. Laila, how can people find you on social media if people want to follow you and
Well, I
support
do
the work
have
you
a
do?
private account, but
Okay.
yeah.
Then don't say it. Don't say it. I was wondering maybe it's public, as you said. Also, you can watch what I'm doing. But
But I
anyway,
do. I will send you some a lead that you can follow
okay,
my
perfect.
other accounts. Yes.
So it looks like whenever you are able to take a break, come to Julius or Yarka for coffee or whatever. Avi, thank you so much, Avi, Dave, man. So people who don't know, Julius and Yarka are Druze villages in Israel, and many Jews go to these villages because they have great food, great hospitality. But that just shows you what a country is Israel, that Druze and Jews and Muslims and Christians can all go and have like great relation with each other. You don't need to fear that someone is going to abduct you or kidnap you or kill you and kidnap your children just because you are a different religion. That is Israel for you. That is not Syria for you. But somehow
By the
mainstream
way,
media,
Carmiel, there's a hummus place where you can sit, you can eat hummus, and you can also be listening to Pink Floyd.
Here you go. I don't need to say anything else after that.
Yeah, hummus, try it.
Politicians not listening in Australia either. Don't answer, email, or call. We'll keep trying. Thank you so much. Thank you, Gil Yasher. We have a new member who is Miriam D. Welcome to the club, Miriam. We're happy to have you here. Mayar, Druze from Suwayda. We read already and talked about the things that he's going through. We pray for you and your people right now in Suwayda. Stay strong. Azi Kultum, we also answered that question, but thank you so much. Let's see. Hazlik, thank you as well. Here's a new one. Praying for peace in Israel and the Druze. Thank you, Woman DKK. That's very kind and generous, and we all join in that prayer. Michael as well, thank you so much. Zacharia Galapi, you're absolutely correct. They are very sneaky and lie with the encouraged, which is encouraged in their religion. What can we do to the West to support the Druze? I am a Jew, and the Druze are our brothers. Well, first of all, you already are the majority of people that are supporting us right now, the Jews. You're already one of the strongest support that we have, and I think many Druze in Syria are even overwhelmed by seeing that some of their brothers in Lebanon are not even supporting them. Some of the Druze in Lebanon who completely sold their soul and dignity to Muslim Brotherhood and jihadism, they're not supporting. So seeing Jews in Israel supporting, that's already overwhelming. But just like we said before, we're not going to repeat it again. Try to bring it up with as many people as you can, including your governments. Go and protest. Ainora Kohlberg want to make time for the streams. Akhi, who is Amichai Kohlberg? I'm not so sure. If he want to come on the stream here, keep speaking the truth. Prayers for the Druze in Syria. Ross Brandt, thank you so much, dear sir. We are doing our best to bring you the real news of what's happening in Syria. Every one of us, like I said, the Druze is a small, tiny, minority of maybe 1 million around the globe, and the majority of them are in Syria, and the majority of them are in Suwayda, the place that is being genocide as we speak. And every Druze in the world that you meet most likely have a relative in Syria. It's very hard to find someone that doesn't, or someone that he knows or his family knows. So we're getting a lot of messages from them, and we're going to try to give you the best report of what's happening, because I know mainstream media is not doing that. Thank you so much, Ross Brand. That's very kind of you. We have Shalom, God bless your work from Brainstorm. Thank you, Brainstorm. And the last one here is Amiros sending us a super sticker. I'm still trying to figure out the different types here. We have super sticker. Oh, he called it super sticker. Okay. I'm kind of still new to these things, but thank you so much, guys. We appreciate anyone that came into this live. We had surprisingly a very large audience, which means that there is people out there that care about what's happening with the Druze, and we're gonna keep supporting them. If there's someone is asking if there's a fund that is supporting the Druze, yes, we created one with Rania that was here, and we're working on creating a GoFundMe that can help support and putting the right board over it. Trust me when I tell you that there's nothing less I want to do in my life than to be a board overseeing all kind of money transactions. But we're going to try to find the right people to do that, so it's as transparent as possible. Not like the Gaza donations that are being taken and been stolen by some vloggers from Gaza, leaving us people to starve. We're going to try to see the best way that we can have that donations come and support our brothers and sisters in Syria, and in general the Jewish community around the world that is trying to support, because it's very hard right now to bring anything into Syria, let alone the banks are been looted and burned. Like everything, you've seen what happened. There's tens of thousands of houses destroyed, burned, displaced families. Every jewelry shop, every food shop, every pharmacy, every children's shop, everything has been destroyed and looted by the Bedouins that came to the mountain. They didn't come just to kidnap humans, but also to steal their possessions. So we're going to try to see also how can we help them recover the Druze land once this war is done, and once the world would make a stop, or at least let Israel stop that genocide. So if anyone want to support, I'm going to try. Once I have that link, we're going to try to give you that link. So please stay tuned, and anything will help, honestly, from the smallest to the biggest. Again, I feel very, very bad when I talk about donations and like that, because I've seen so many scammers around the world, and it's just something that I want to stay away from. But I feel like here in Syria, we're going to do our best to give you the most trustworthy people to come and help that. So I'm gonna do definitely every research that I can, Khalifa as well here, and to hold it accountable and make sure that's the right one.
Yeah, we're trying to create an NGO, and this is a great opportunity to say that we are looking for sponsors. Like, yes, we're not getting paid for what we are doing. I didn't work for the whole week. I had zero income in my account, which my, like, my bank doesn't really like what I'm dedicated to do. So we try to, like, if there's anybody's hearing and there's sponsors, support us as well, because the more influence we have, the greater reach out that we can get everybody with the super thanks and everything. That's like, that's a great help for what Mansour is doing, what we are doing. And if there's any sponsors that wanna promote what we are doing, so please reach out, because it's needed. Your help is needed now.
Thank you, Khalifa. And yes, go follow Khalifa. Check his YouTube channel, his Instagram. You have a great Telegram. If you want some real reliable source, he's sharing many stuff that are not shared in YouTube. They'll get censored immediately and
Mhm.
demonetized. They shut his channel if he shows you some of the stuff that he's showing in his Telegram, where he's giving also context about it. What is
Yeah,
happening? Who's happening?
this
It's
is how I lost my monetization on YouTube, because I shared some of my Telegram stuff
your
on
Telegram.
YouTube and they didn't like it. Didn't
I'll
like it
even
at
say
all.
that, guys. Khalifa's program is a crash course in the Middle East. You'll probably learn about the Arab world, the Druze world, the Muslim world, and the Jewish world in that Telegram, but mostly about the Arab world, I would say, more than you'd learn in university, because it gives a lot of context there, and he's letting you hear live from different scholars and philosophers. He loves philosophy. It's not by coincidence that he became a shepherd at such a late age of his life, because he loved these things. So I would recommend go and check his Telegram. Great channel, but it's not for the faint of hearts, especially now. In normal days, it's much more calm, but now it's not for the faint of heart. So just letting you know. Uh,
Yeah, we already had, I think, a conversation about that, Khalifa. I told you I'm writing my PhD in philosophy and educational philosophy, and we had
wow,
some, we had some conversations. We didn't, we disagreed about a lot of things, but we also agreed.
that's the beauty of life.
But,
That's the beauty of life, to learn to disagree and talk respectfully to one
but
another.
yeah, philosophy will be maybe another podcast, another live.
Definitely, be my pleasure. So Ruthie K is answering. Mansour, any conversation that you guys had on different podcasts, please post them in your community post so we can do and share and like and listen. I will generate views for them. Thank you so much. That is a great initiative. I can tell you that I went on the Charlie Kirk show, and if it reached enough views, they might invite me again. So that would be great if people can go and watch and share and like that. I also went on TBN and CBN several times at CBN. They're being very kind to me. It's a great, big Christian channel for American Christians that have been inviting me. I went, wow, I even forgot. I went in so many podcasts. I can't even, I went in one day. You won't believe it. You can try to put numbers. Try to put numbers in the comments here. How many back to back live TV shows, radio shows, podcasts, news shows I went in one day? I will tell you, back to back, and each one of them was about an hour to an hour and a half. Just to give you, I'll give you the answer in the end. But also, Khalifa, you went on several shows. Maybe you can just briefly say which one so they can go and see it.
I I can't remember. Like, I did so many. Like, I didn't, a lot of them. I didn't even ask where I'm at or where it was broadcasted. I just wanted to speak out. I've been reached out with a lot of local journalists as well. I've been to the national TV. I've been to multiple podcasts. I've been to. Um, okay, I'm forgetting the names, but yeah, I've been busy. I've been busy. We did like 6, 7 a day for the past week, and I slept like 3, 4 hours each night. So it's been a rough marathon, I
It's
must
been a
say.
rough
And
marathon.
I kept running, and I kept doing
I
my
24. You went to I 24. I remember
I
I
went to
24 and
yeah.
Keshet, some Israeli channels, definitely. What else? Where was I here? Oh, we have a new person that joined the team. Welcome, guys. Join. Oh, here's something. Someone mentioned here that I'm a Syrian. Here, a sword. I really love the logo of that samurai fighter standing in the battlefield with a sword and a spear and a sword on his back. I just love these cartoons. I used to draw comics myself, so I love this kind of animation. As a Syrian who lived in the coast for over 21 years, Bedouins are basically stealers, and if they get caught, they might kill you. You know, it's kind of there's a reason for these rumors. I'm not gonna elaborate too much on it, but some and don't want to stain all Bedouins. There's amazing Bedouins around the world, but that's one of the nicknames that came to them. It basically starts from the nomadic days before Prophet Muhammad came and converted Islam. They were just going and killing and looting and stealing for one another, and that was their main occupation, main way of living. And we're seeing it today with these jihadist factions of Bedouins that are coming to the Middle East, to Syria right now. They look for a bleeding community and for a fatwa that someone is going to give them, and then they go, and that's how they make a living. They go and plunder and kill and steal everything from that land. So that's kind of crazy reality. But just wanted to answer that. Someone
There's
said someone said 25, someone said 6. Sorry, someone said 10 and 10. Well, I give you these are the winners are Yasha, Harari, and Heidi Bright. I did 10 live back to back podcasts and shows in one day. That was one day. And that was crazy. And the last one, he came and asked me, "How are you doing this? Like, aren't you getting tired?" And I said, "I can do this all day." I felt like that sentence for Captain America when he was fighting against Iron Man. He tells him, "I can do this all day." So I felt like Captain Salman in that moment. Like, I can do this all day. Just call me to any podcast and any show that I can speak about my brothers. Um,
Let, let, let me just answer this question. Everybody's asking about all my channels are Khalifa Shrugged. It's like the Atlas Shrugged book, but Khalifa Shrugged. In Hebrew, it's a funny name. It's Mereda Khalifim.
the
Uh,
Rebellions of the Caliphate.
it's the Caliphate, yeah.
The
And
Rebellions of the
uh,
Caliphate. Very cool name, by the way.
thank
Someone
you.
said 70. Oh man, if I would have done 70 back to back live shows that each one is an hour into an hour and a half, I will be still doing it. Yes, CBN, one of them that I went, so you can go and watch and help share. In general, every Druze content creator right now, or any content creator that's trying to help and support the Druze, there's many of them. There's Yon Lagardia, you guys know him. There's Noah, I think his name Noy. He is a Jewish Israeli American who is in the IDF serving. Let me give you the name. He just posted an amazing video about the Druze as well. Um, great guy. So definitely go and follow him. His name is Nathan. Also Nathaniel Bozulik. You guys know him as well. He was in Vampire's Diary. He lit the Messiah in Israel. He just sent me a message. And he's also been supporting. Just made a beautiful video about the Druze. Here, Noy Layeb. That's the guy. Noy Layeb as well. He's a Jewish Israeli IDF content creator that is American as well. So any content creator that is doing some work to bring awareness to the Druze, please go and watch his videos. Even if you're not staying, just leave it on and go do your homework or go prepare lunch for your kids or I don't know what. That helps. That helps expose and share these videos, and it helps with this. Like I said, we're outnumbered 20,000 to 1. So any help that you can do will greatly help us. We're just about to finish, guys, because I know it's getting too late. So thank you so much for Juicy. I know it's not nearly enough, and YouTube will eat some. Yeah. Hope for better days as soon as possible. Much love. Keep spreading the info as you do. Thank you so much, Juicy. And yes, YouTube takes a big chunk, but it gives us also a platform to come and speak and be able to make a living through social media. So here, Khalifa Shrugged. That is the channel, guys. And I just want to see that I didn't miss anything. Another new member. Oh, Azi Kultun. Welcome to the club, brother. You're part of the family here. And thank you so much. I've seen someone the Torah saying, "Don't forget your." I don't find it here, but I saw it in the little letters kind of here. Don't forget
Yeah,
your.
we love Torah. We
We
love
love
him.
Torah. You're one of the original gangsters here. Thank you for sticking around with us. It's a community that's building. Oh, I think I broke the 50,000 today in YouTube.
All right.
Someone
Yeah.
sent me
All
a message.
right.
I don't know if I did. No, I didn't.
Wow.
I didn't yet. I didn't yet.
You didn't yet. Oh,
But
yo.
let me
Okay.
refresh. No, I didn't yet.
Here's
Okay, I didn't. I thought I should, share that. All right, guys, thank you so much. Khalifa, you're writing gibberish in the private chat.
Yeah.
You're
yeah.
English.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. I told you I'm very tired.
Yes.
All
All
right.
right,
I'm
Laila,
gonna go
thank you so
go
much.
count sheep.
Thank you so much for having me.
No, the
It was a
pleasure
great
is ours.
opportunity, and I'm
And
very appreciative.
no, and we're gonna give you more platform in the future. This was her first live, everyone, so give her a big shout for that. You did
All
amazing. You
right.
have great English, and I'm pretty sure your students will be very proud of you when they see what their teacher went and did, talking about it. So it's a great thing. Thank you so much for coming around, and everyone here.
Thank
Khalifa, you want to close the show for us with some Hebrews and Shebrews?
Well, Hebrews and Hebrews, it was another great podcast and broadcast from the Mansour Ashkar, aka Abu Rafi, the one and the only, the first of his name, and the chain breaker, the Suwayda freer, the fighter for the Druze community,
Captain Salman.
Mansour Ashkar. All right.
No,
All right.
from now on, you're Captain Salman.
Captain Salman. Captain
Captain
Waleed.
Salman is great.
Yeah,
The the super Druze.
yeah. Yeah, all right. Thank you so much, guys. Let's finish. And
All
Thank you
right.
so
Good
much.
night, everyone.